Hello everyone, I am Dr. Sirajul Faizi. Today in this video, I am going to talk about writing of good scientific papers. So, outline of today's presentation is basic principle, structure of a journal paper, language issue, presentation of results, discussions, and conclusions. Aspect of writing a paper. First, contents, language, figures and tables, literature, introductions and discussion, choosing a journal, first draft, submitting draft to supervisor. Eighteen suggestions for writing good scientific paper. First one, taken a shortened form. Know your audience and write for that specific audience. Scientific and technical writing is never a general purpose, but written for a specific audience, and that is the community who read a particular journal or study a particular subject. You must adopt the style and level of writing, and that is appropriate for your audience. Study them as they are manifested in a selections of highly regarded papers, and in the instruction for author. Every paper have their a tab and instructions for authors, and just read carefully all instructions before writing your paper. This is for key journals. The second point is that your supervisor, your professor is not here to teach you basic grammar and spelling. The more time and emotional energy she or he spends on correcting basic English uses, the less remains for issues of content or fine tuning. You are responsible for mastering the basics of the language with word processors and spelling checkers. Having become standard writing tools, typos or other spelling errors should be very rare. Third point is that do not turn in a first draft. Even most people first draft are terrible. Good writing is rewriting, and you should make a serious effort at editing, rewriting and fine tuning before you give the manuscript to anyone else to read. If you need to put a piece of writing away for a few days before you can approach it dispassionately enough to rework it, and do so. Fourth point is that avoid using word forms. Use words in the form that conveys your meaning as clearly and simply as possible. For example, consider the sentence, the low rate of encounters was a reflection of population density reductions, versus the low rate of encounters reflects a reduced population density. So you can see the change of the sentence. The fifth point is that do not use more words where fewer will do. Do not use long words where short one will do. For example, utilization versus use. This is the big word and use a small one. in order to versus to. Friends, do not use special words to make your writing seem more technical, scientific, or academic when the message is more clearly presented otherwise. The sixth point is that use an outline to organize your ideas and writing. When you first start a writing project, make an outline of the major headlines. List the key ideas to be covered under each heading. Organize your thinking, logic, and the logic of your arguments at this level. Not when you are trying to write complete grammatical and elegant sentences. Friend, separate out the three tasks of first one, figuring out what you want to say, and second, planning the order and logic of your arguments, and third, crafting the exact language in which you will express your ideas. The seventh point is that think about the structure of paragraphs. Though most art students can write reasonable sentences, a surprising number have difficulty organizing sentences into effective paragraphs. A paragraph should begin with a topic sentence that sets the stage clearly for what you will follow. Make topic sentence short and direct. Build the paragraph from the ideas introduced in your topic sentence and make the flow of individual sentences follow a logical sequence. So in this slide, friends, pay attention to tenses. Problems of inappropriate or inconsistent tenses are common in student writing. What you or others did in the past should be stated in the past sentence. Data were collected. Events or objects that continue to happen or exist can be described in the present tense. For example, in this paper, I examine. The data reject the hypothesis that whatever tense you choose, be consistent. Be consistent. Consistency is important tools in scientific writing. Be careful in using might, may, and would, as in this might indicates that they are frequently used as ways of reasoning out of making a clear statement. 9.9 is that caption. Captions should not be merely name a table or figure. They should explain how to read it. A caption, figure, or table heading should contain sufficient information so that a reader can understand a table or figure. In most cases, without reference to the text, very simple tables and figures may require only a title for clarity, and exceptionally complex ones may require reference to the text for explanations. Then do not leave caption writing to the end of the project. Whenever you put the figure, you put the tables, write it down the captions. Write caption when you organize your results section, and it will help you write the text. Our next point is, when citing a reference, focus on the ideas, not the authors. Unless the person who reported a result in an important point in a statement, literature citations should be parenthetical rather than in the body of the sentence. Just like growth rates of greater than 80 centimeter are common in population in Alberta or Mars 1982. Rather than Mars 1982 found growth rates of greater than 80 centimeter to be common in population in Alberta. And this is the like sentence. Our next point is that show us, don't tell us. Show us, don't tell us. Rather than telling the reader that a result is interesting or significant, show them how it is interesting or significant. For instance, rather than the large difference in mean size between the population C and population D is a particularly interesting, write mean size generally varied among population by only a few centimeters, but mean size in population C and D differ by 25 centimeters. This is the like sentence. Our next point is that write about your results, not your tables, figures and statistics. Confusing and disjointed results sections often arise because the writer does not have a clear idea of the story and she and he intend to tell. When preparing to write your results, decide on the elements of the story you wish to tell. Then choose the subset of text, figures and tables that most effectively and concisely conveys your message. Organize this subset of tables and figures in a logical sequence. Then write your story around them. Friend, our next point is develop a strategy for your discussion. Many novice papers writers begin their discussion sections with a statement about problem with their methods or items in their results about which they feel most insecure, unless these really are the most important things about your research, in which case you have problems. Save them for later. Begin a discussion with a short statement of the most important points from your research. Use this statement to set up the ideas you want to focus on it, interpreting your results and relating them to the literature. Use subheadings that structure and discussion around these ideas. Friends, our next point is introduction and conclusion are the hardest part. Many technical writers prefer to write their introduction last because it is too difficult to draft that balance of general context and specific focus required for a good introduction. If you need to write the introduction first to set the stage for your own thinking, resist the temptation to perfect it. The introduction will likely need substantial modification by the time you have finished the rest of the paper. The same concern applies to conclusions, abstract, and summarizes. These components of the paper are all that many people will read, and you must get your message across in as direct, crisp, and enticing and manner as possible. Our next point is break up large project into small pieces and work on the pieces. Writing an analysis for any given paper is often an interactive process. Writing the results section of a paper is often the best way to discover the analysis and figures that still need to be done. Our next point is make your writing flow and resonate. Papers written so well that they flow and resonate are much more likely to influence your reader than equivalent message presented in a form that is merely clear. When you find a paper that succeeds in this, study carefully how the author constructed their argument